with 55. What is up, everybody? Welcome to another weekly edition of Live with 55. I am one of the many co-hosts of this show. We don't have to call somebody a host on this show. We're all hosts. My name is Jeremy Wallman, here with Wes Keys.
What's the word, ladies and gentlemen?
Higgy.
Hello, everybody.
Tanner, the stat guy.
Hello, everyone.
I want to make fun of him, but Dalton already does enough. It's our guest host of the day, Dalton Pence. What's good, Dalton?
Yo.
Listen, we have a good show for you. Dalton doesn't want to show his face right now for some reason. He'll join us at some point. We hope we have a jam-packed show for you all. Sharon, Patty Ice striking again today. Let's throw a couple of these comments up on the screen. Our guy, Robbie. Good evening, gentlemen. Let's do this because I know we have Dalton for a limited time today, so we'll get to y'all's comments momentarily. I'll try to scroll through a couple of them while he's talking. We want to get his insight. Listen, as who was it? Oh, Sharon brought up. We got another basket. We're going to get right into it. We're going to talk about the commits. We've had 3 commits this week, and it's looking like a flight tracker says we may be on the way to a couple of more. We'll talk about that momentarily. Had a couple more people that at this point it's easier to tell you who's not in the portal from Louisville. We'll talk about the one man that's not in the portal and the one man I believe that we will get back. And yes, I believe it's only going to be one guy that comes back. Big Mish Mitch, good evening from Vegas. Thanks for tuning in. I would be tuning in from Vegas. Appreciate your time and love and support. But yeah, just we'll talk about who's coming back, possibly, and all that stuff. And of course, it's WrestleMania week, so the wrestling fans in the chat, which is at the end of the show, we devote the last part of the show to real life stuff in wrestling. So we're gonna do that because my other show that I do is Ringside Podcast with Daniel Spencer, Eric Cornish, Linda Kay, and we've not done the show in a couple of months. So I see everybody's comments. I promise you I will get to them here in a second. I want to get Dalton's breakdown on a couple of guys. We're going to go first with the newest addition today. And I'm not talking about Ronnie, Bobby, Ricky, Mike, or Ralph. I'm talking about Terrence Edwards Jr., the transfer from James Madison, 6'6", 190-pound guard from Atlanta, Georgia. He averaged 17.2 points per game this year, 3.4 assists, 4.4 rebounds, and shot 42% from the field. His notable performances this year, he had 19 points in the Sun Belt Championship victory, 14 points against the win in the win against Wisconsin, 13 points in the loss to Duke, and 24 points. Is that Miami, Tanner, or Michigan? It just says MI.
Michigan
State. Okay.
State.
Maybe I didn't scroll down enough. No, I did. You pulled a Higgy there. That's what we call it now, Higgy. You're gonna have to endear to that. All aboard the PK Express is Louisville MBB. I'm still trying to figure out whose account that is. I love it. I don't care who it is, really. Look, Dalton, I know you've put out a couple tweets today about Mr. Edwards. What are your thoughts on what he can do for the team this year? Obviously, it's going to be a team that we've not seen before. It's going to be almost 99 to 100% brand new. What kind of an impact can this young man have for the Louisville basketball program?
I mean, truthfully, I think he's a game changer in all sense of the word. You always worry whether or not a mid-major guy is going to be able to translate that skill set over to the Power 5, and I don't think that this is one of those situations to where there's a ton of concern. He was the best player on the best team in program history at James Madison. That was a fantastic team. I'd watched them a couple times, watched them in that first game against Michigan State, and watched both of their tournament games as well. He played well against Power 5 competition, as you mentioned, double figures and scoring in all 3 of those. But he's an electric player. I think that his leadership is something that this program could need, especially early on in this Pat Kelsey era. I think it's key for fans that are listening to this to understand that it's probably more important to go get players that fit the system rather than the big names and just chasing the stats and everything like that. Now, that's not to say that you shouldn't go out and get big name guys. I'm saying that it's critical that you go out and get players that fit your scheme. And Edwards is a guy that likes to play fast, really good in isolation, top 85 percentile in isolation, operates in transition, a secondary ball handler that can score from the outside and shoots over, I think it's 60% close to the rim. So he's efficient in both assets of that. Not necessarily going to call him a 3-level scorer because he's more of an opportunistic mid-range guy, but with the length, with the athleticism, the three-point shooting, and the defensive ability, you're looking at a player that fits a prototypical wing in let's say, a Nate Oates offense. And if it fits Nate Oates, it's going to fit Pat Kelsey because that's essentially Alabama light. So this is a great addition, Jeremy. It's a great building block for hopefully what's to come, a great transfer window for this program.
Absolutely. And listen, I'll be honest, I was one of them at the very beginning that was not excited. And then I heard him talk. And then I was like, oh, okay, I'm bought in. And then I saw the list and it was a bunch of mid-major guys. And then I was like, oh man, this first year is just going to be rebuilt central. But when I go in and after my initial emotions set in and all the shaking of the fists and stuff goes on, you look at these guys and you're like, well, if we're getting the best guys from each of these mid-majors for the first year while he's building his recruiting class here through high school and the transfer portal for the bigger players, you tend, when you see guys like him and like this next guy, 6'11" center forward James Scott, you watch his highlights and you immediately get excited. James Scott, the Fayetteville, North Carolina native, appeared in 35 games during his true freshman season, starting in 4 of those. He earned all CAA freshman honors, averaging 5 points per game with 79% shooting, as well as 3.4 rebounds and 1.3 blocks per game. In the opening round March Madness matchup against Alabama in college at Charleston, the big man racked up 11 points in 19 minutes, added 3 rebounds, assists, and a steal. What do you see in James Scott's future here at the University of Louisville, Dalton?
Well, let me tell you, James Scott was considered by many in the grassroots recruiting cycle when he was a senior in high school, was considered by many to be one of the best shot blockers in the Adidas circuit. He was extremely solid on the defensive end. Offensively, a work in progress. I mean, he shoots 79% from around the rim. That shows 2 things. Number one, he is crazy efficient. But number 2, most of his offense was dunks. I made the parallel on a podcast, or my Locked on Louisville podcast last week when he committed, that it reminds me a ton of freshman year Montrezl Harrell in the sense that he can block shots, and most, if not all, of his offense is going to come right around the restricted area in the paint. So according to a couple of draft analysts, they're intrigued to see the development on both ends of the court. I think he's a guy, maybe one of those players that you're fine with having on the roster and developing over the next couple of years, that you don't have to necessarily see him in a consistent role right away. I think if he is in a role, it's going to be more of a defensive lob threat type role as he continues to fill out his frame. He's only 6'11", 210, has a decent looking jump shot. There's not a ton of mechanical issues with it. It's just a matter of honing in on that skill set, refining the tools there, because the potential's there. I mean, the guy can jump out of the gym. It's just a matter of putting it all together. Does that happen next season? Probably not. I would venture into saying that he's probably going to be maybe not a back into the rotation, but fairly close to it as he continues to grow. But in 2025, 26, I really think that that's where you're looking for this addition to pay off. And it's okay. People have to realize you can't add 13 starting level players to the team. That is a very uncharacteristic way to create a roster. You have to have some players that can develop over time. And I think James Scott is a great candidate to be one of those players.
Absolutely, Dalton. And last but not least, as far as the basketball commits are concerned, and what we're going to do, we're going to let Dalton get his, as they say in the business, get his stuff in, and then we're going to let him go because he's in a major competitive basketball league on Wednesday nights. That Tanner was supposed to be there, but he had a dinner to go to, but it decided that it was canceled and he was going to do the show with us instead. We appreciate that. But really quick, sorry, my screen went blank here. The first commitment, though, of this Pat Kelsey era, and I'm not going to call, y'all can call him whatever you want to. I'm not calling him PK. I already know a PK from Louisville who's going to be on the show with us either at some point tonight or he's going to join us on Sunday. He told me if he could come in tonight, he was a hop on. If he was working the kids out too late, he'd jump on Sunday. So we will have Preston Knowles on the show. That's a little bit of a teaser there. On the show Sunday with us at 2 p.m. on social media everywhere. But the first guy that committed just over 48 hours after Pat Kelsey's introductory press conference, College of Charleston junior transfer Rain Smith announced he would be joining his coach at the University of Louisville. The Australian guard was the first commitment for the Kelsey era Cards and brings a shooting threat that U of L hasn't had in arguably over a decade. Just to let you all know how good his three-point percentages are, his 39.4% last year, or this year, I guess it's this year still, would place him fourth all-time at Louisville, behind only Taekwon Dean in 03 and 04. Taekwon had 2 seasons that were really good, and DeJuan Wheat in 94, 95. So that's a couple of decades if you look at it that way. Rain had come off a career high 12.8 points per game on 41% shooting this year. He's lethal off the catch and shoot. He can create his own shot, and he helped lead College of Charleston to the tournament the last 2 seasons while earning the 23-24 CAA tournament MVP and spots on the tournament and all CAA second team, the all CAA second team, and the all CAA tournament team. What does his again? I get similar question, Dalton. How do you see Rain in the Pat Kelsey offense? Obviously, we've got to see it before. It's not like most of the other guys that are going to be new commits where we don't know how he does in this system. What do you foresee Rain's contributions being for this team?
Truthfully, I think that the name I keep coming back to is Ryan McMahon. I think that Ryan McMahon in 2019, 2020 makes a ton of sense. A player that will Rain Smith start? I would venture into staying. It really depends on what happens in the portal for the remainder of the roster. Regardless, I think you're going to see a guy that's playing upwards of 20 minutes per game, and not necessarily just a situational shooter. He is a sharp shooter, like you mentioned, but one aspect of his game that's extremely underrated is he's a solid passer, solid secondary ball handler. So sort of like a Ryan McMahon in his senior season. And I think ultimately that's going to help Louisville early on as the team learns his system. And it's great to have guys who know what to expect from Coach Kelsey. And that's something that we can't overlook, especially early on in the season. So I personally think that what you can expect, go back and watch Ryan McMahon in his senior year and literally just duplicate it. I think a lot of that is going to be what you're going to see from Rain Smith. I think if the three-point shot is falling, then his impact is going to be pretty straightforward. But you're going to play against better athletes, better defenders that can close out quicker, close out harder. And it's going to be more difficult to get some of those shots off. I'm interested to see how he's able to work off the pin downs, whether it's going to be a situation to where he's operating out of, the pick and roll as well, what his role looks like. So we'll see that. Another statistic, the last one I'll leave you all with, is he had over 15 threes this past season with over 25 feet of distance. So, I mean, we're talking about a guy who you might as well pick him up at half court. Sort of like me, Tanner, when I play. You've got to pick me up from half court because I'm just simply that guy. But no, that's all I'll say. Make it rain, baby. Love to see some guys following PK. It's always critical that is to be the case, especially when you have to flip an entire roster pretty much. So I like this move. I like this move a ton. I like what Kelsey has done with the first 3 additions, but I'm really interested to see what happens with this flight tracker stuff and seeing what the Louisville sleuths can find out. But that's gonna wrap it up for me. Y'all appreciate y'all having me on.
Hey, not a problem, Dalton. We're going to bring Joey on here. Great segue here. He is in parts unknown. Joey, what's good, man?
What's up?
Did not expect to see the big unit here on.
Well, speaking of big units, so we got 3 pounds of hamburger on the way down, and we've got 5 hamburgers. So
Christmas.
that's 1 burger. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Well, compared
See
to
my
the
hand?
hand, yeah.
Look how thick this. And then there's the other 4.
About to catch the itis, ain't you?
Oh, dude, we got some like 3, like about that thick rib eyes. It's gonna be amazing. Yeah, I just wanted to pop in and show you all these like literal monster burgers that we about to cook up in parts unknown.
Well, we appreciate you hopping on here real quick to show us your meat, Joey. We'll talk to you later.
Always no problem showing my meat.
All right, that's the little brother Joe Wallman. I don't know what he's talking about. I'm hoping it's cooking wise. Guys, let's go back to you all because we have not got to. Wanted to get Dalton, like I said, let him get his stuff in it. I was going to talk to him about football stuff, but he kindly showed himself out the door, which I'm fine with that. It is what it is. Wes, which one? Let me ask you this. Let's condense it a little bit. Which one of the 3 commits so far is your favorite, and why?
Definitely had to go with the newest, being of course Terrence Edwards Jr. I like his game inside and out, midi, his ability to get to the rack as a slasher. He's a 45% 3-point shooter, which is something you very much have to know. Because outside of James Scott, him and Rain is 39. He's 45. He's going after elite shooters only, which is going to fit this system perfectly.
Can we really quick mention this? The Batman signal, amazing idea. We needed something like that. We knew we needed something like that. Cardone in the building showing us. All aboard the PK Express, says Louisville MBB, the unofficial, official YouTube for Louisville men's basketball. Go ahead, Wes. Back to you.
No, but everything all in all, like, yeah, I love Terrence Edwards Jr. I love his game. He's not saying he's Damian Lee, but he's one of those mid-major guys with that type of game that can knock it down from inside, outside, get to the rim, good slashing ability, good passing ability. Everything as a whole, like, what's not to love? Sunbelt Player of the Year. One of those guys.
Sharon Elliott, look, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Sharon Elliott says it's not the Batman signal, it's the Pat Man signal. Little corny, little cool. I'm cool with it though. Are you throwing the flag on that one, Wes? Are you?
I'm throwing the flag. He won the show.
All right, he was tweet of the night. All right, go ahead. My bad. I hate interrupting you, but whenever I see a good one like that, I have to.
Nah, brother. Of course, you definitely got it. Yeah, but no. Everything all in all, I think Terrence Edwards has the ability to be the star player on this team. I can't wait to see how the rest of the roster shakes out. Second player, even though Rain is a sharpshooter, but I love James Scott too. Rim runner, put back artist. He's gonna do it all, man. Like, I love the way this roster is rounding into form, even though we only got 3 players.
Louisville men's basketball says glad to see Tanner isn't falling asleep on the couch this week. We love that one too. Mom's Kelly in the building. Mom's Kelly, we appreciate it. Much love. Everybody saying hi. Yes, Bubs, PK, Preston knows. Some people are calling Pat Kelsey PK. Some people are saying he refers to himself as PK. So if that's the case, we're gonna have to let him eat and do what he wants to do. Hello, Mom's Kelly. Sharon says he likes the Pat-Man signal. We'll get caught up on these. Gonna get caught up on these tweets while we ask everybody else. Higgy, who is your favorite addition out of the 3 new ones? Yes, since you know how to speak now, because we've heard you on the Drew Diener space exclusively with Higgy the last couple of nights. I don't really know why, but Tell us which one your favorite is of the three, and I'll go through a couple more of these texts. I said tweets, I mean texts.
Yeah, I have to say Scott, just because he does give us a presence, like Don was saying, that we could use in the rotation in regards to the big man rotation. Along with, I just think that he is a dominant force that we've been needing all along. In the Kenny Payne era, we did not have a dominant big man to go to every time. We also needed somebody that could be a rim protector. We finally have a rim protector, so we'll see what happens.
Good evening, fellas. Let's go to a couple of these tweets. Tanner, you know what? I keep saying tweets. I mean text. Tanner, what about you? Did you have a favorite out of the three so far?
Yeah, I was pretty excited about Terrence Edwards Jr. I wanted him as soon as he entered the portal. I think he's a really phenomenal player. And for some reason, JMU is this sneaky good athletic program, both in football and basketball. It's really weird, but it's always fun to see. I for sure thought he'd be going to Vandy to follow their coach, since he accepted the job down there. But aside from being excited for Terrence Edwards Jr., I have to agree with Higgy. I'm really excited for Scott because of his, I call him a pogo stick kind of big, and they play above the rim. They catch lobs and block shots. And I don't think we've really had that in a while, since maybe Malik Williams. Maybe.
I told Steve Rummage the other day, I said Terrence Jennings was another good comparison as far as how they both relate. I didn't forget about Malik. Malik's also a good comparison.
What about Stevie back in the day?
I was gonna say just because his foot injury that he had kind of took away from his athletic ability a bit, but yeah, definitely having that presence to throw up a lob off the pick and roll, or if he's in the dunker spot on the baseline, that's always a good element to have to your offense. So I'm excited to see what
Higgy, what were you trying to say? I've told you all 75,000 times that if one of y'all are talking, the other one can't talk without cutting everybody off. Who's the comparison you had, brother?
I was going to say Steve Enoch. What about, he's got the outside shot. He's got the rim protector mentality.
Steve was a beast. Don't get me wrong, but he wasn't as springy as this guy is. Go ahead, Wes.
That was.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, yeah. I thought about Steven Enoch, but then I remember his play style. He was more of a bruiser and played inside out a little bit. He could step out and knock down perimeter shots, but yeah, I think we would have had a pogo stick big and Dennis Evans, but his medical issues happened. So
absolutely, Wes, what were you going to add?
Yeah, thing I was gonna add is, and this is a bold claim. Okay. Yes, we had a lot of good bigs.
Okay.
But James Scott is probably the best, especially at rim protecting, that we've had. Anas was good, but probably the best since Gorgie.
Okay.
Best.
I agree with that.
45 blocks in averaging 16 minutes a game as a freshman. 1.3 is average, and you're barely playing you're not even playing a whole game? Excuse me? That's serious.
Absolutely. And shout out, we're still praying for you, DE. We hope everything, we know you got cleared, but a lot of these cases where guys go and get 8th and 9th opinions and get cleared, it don't normally end up the best. They end up not playing anyway. We hope differently. We hope that everything's cleared up, and not that this can be cleared up, but we hope it's manageable, because we know how difficult of a situation that it actually is. Excuse me. Let's talk about, and great question, who else would you take back if possible? So I'm going to give that to you two ways. If I was told you get to pick, if this was my NCAA basketball team and I had the checkbook, I could sign the people back I wanted to. I would take back Brandon. I would take back Sky, and I would take back Mike James. The only reason a lot of people would be like, well, what about Tyler? What about Tyler? Well, my only issue with Tyler is that I happen to know some stuff and some antics he had off the court, as well as the ones that are public on the court. I would end up shooting him directly into the moon. So, I mean, I would take him initially, but probably kick him off mid-season. So I don't think that's fair. Who do I think comes back? I think there's a possibility that Hersey Miller is the only guy. And again, he's not in the portal yet. We may very well find out tomorrow or during the show he's in the portal. That's just the way things happen sometimes. Gosh, set the over-under for guys returning. You could set it at 2, and I would say under easily. I don't know that anybody returns back. I know Sky's taking his visit to UCLA. He's got a bunch of teams in his final list. I haven't seen us in that. I haven't seen him mention us, which is a little concerning. Brandon Huntley Hatfield does have us in his final 4, but he seems to really like NC State a whole lot, so that wouldn't shock me for Scott to be at UCLA and for him to be at NC State. The only one I think there's even a shot at is the young man from the O, Mike James. He is a guy that can play in any system on earth. He's so versatile. Fast-paced, slow-paced, slash, step back. And he has been here through some of the hardest times. Like, what better of a redemption story for you as a young man to come back with the new coach and lead this team into the tournament and kind of, take back what was taken from you the last 2 years. So that's my opinion as far as who would I take back if possible. Let's see. Where's the other pinned? Wait a minute. I skipped it. Where's it at? That was the one I read. Crap. Where's the one that I was going to read? Does anyone on the panel think? Okay, so this is the next one I wanted to address. Does anyone on the panel think we can retain any of last season's Cardinals? I again just touched on it. Think Mike's the only one we got a shot at. Marcus says, "What's up, family? I'm wondering if Hersey is still on the team. His cousin just decommitted from Oregon. I hope we get him." I'll tell you what. I think there's a good shot, and there's no intel behind this. I've just seen this kid around campus. I've seen him playing, around the city. He got kicked off a long time ago and didn't leave the city. I think Karan Davis, especially if we go down and snatch John L. Davis, I think Karan Davis, I think Karan might be the only one returning. I think we're going to get a plot twist. And Karan, look, I had never met Karan before about 2 weeks ago. Been spending some time with some of my friends, and he's been around them. Great kid, great basketball player. Was hanging with some of the really good basketball players that he was playing against. So Andrew Mudd says the FAU guard is tough. Is that Davis?
I think so. Yeah,
It is.
John Lindemann says Higgy's eating again. Well, duh. Good evening. CPK. Albert says let's call him CPK. That kind of sounds Russian to me, so I'm not really down with that. Big congratulations to Malik Williams on his 10-day contract with Toronto. Chad and Wes Brocky say what's up. Diaz says they may look good now, but can they perform in the ACC against elite competition? Oh, I'm with you. I'm wondering, does this level of athlete translate into the ACC? Go ahead, Wes.
if I may, real quick, just add in. I know it wasn't big scoring games, but in that first round loss to Alabama, if I'm not mistaken, that College of Charleston put up 96 points. Rain scored 11 of those. James Scott scored 11 of those. Terrence Edwards Jr. in the first round win, if I'm not mistaken, against Wisconsin, they had about 15, like we said. So these guys can score against Power 5 competition. Terrence Edwards, another game that I went back and watched the highlights over, he had 24 against Michigan State this year.
I just can't. Kevin Reed says Preston Knowles' nickname by him was Hot Nuts because he came to the game shooting like he had icy hot on his jock strap. I wish I'd never had known that. KDW says y'all sleeping on Spalding. Sharon through the flag. Thank you. All right, Wes, I'm on the Scott bandwagon. Could be wrong. I feel PK only wanted Brandon back, and I don't believe that's happening. Yeah, there was a couple more he wanted back, but I don't think anybody. But but I think Mike has a chance to come back. I think Karan has a chance to come back. I think Hertzy has a chance. That's really it for me. I would like to see Mike on a winning team with a better. I'm telling you, Mike James could be the glue that pulls all this together for us. How dare Steve ask what happens if we lose? Oh, that's just Steve. No, he's quite peculiar. We still need a couple of guards, 2 small forwards, and a couple of bigs. I'll be honest with you. I don't know that Tyler will be playing anywhere this next semester. I'll leave it at that. Yes, Sharon, absolutely. I think Karan plays with us if we get Janelle. Hope we get the guard from Toledo. Beast Mode, our guy Beast Mode wants to know if this is a fake account. Well, we don't really know because you'll retweet or share anything. Great point, Goose. I guess there's always a chance. I just think for out of those two, I say we had the better shot at Caleb. Beast Mode says if we could STILL Golden, yeah, that would be huge. I know, listen, flight trackers on the list here in a little bit. We'll talk about that and why people think we're going after Golden or John L. I wonder if PK talked to the Maddox kid in person yet. Is that the Toledo kid?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, he's on. Well, I saw you corrected. That's the only reason I was giving you crap about it, Beast. Yeah, he talked to him. We assume that he talked to him about 4:00 today when in Babu I saw this ridiculous rumor. No, that's not what he asked for. John Lindemann says no, Higgy, not California Pizza Kitchen. Oh, CPK. I would love to have JJ back. Miss Peggy says, hey, Jeremy and everybody. Our guy Jay Bell in the building. All conference guys can play anywhere. Yeah, the only thing about that concerns me is that it's a bunch. Like if you're putting in a guy like Damian Lee or, gosh, what was the kid that played with him? Trey
Lewis.
Yeah,
Trey Lewis. That's fine. But if you got like 8 or 9 all-conference guys, they're all used to being the man. You just worry about – great point, but you just worry about gelling and chemistry issues. Nothing has changed. We want Louisville men. Pause. Major pause from Sharon. Our guy ATM, Adam Maddox. What's good, fellas? What's up, buddy? Chris Curry. Is John L. Davis not following Dusty to Michigan? We don't know. We absolutely don't know. Okay. And we do also have next segment is our targets that we've heard that we're going after that was comprised by our guy Tanner here. He is our stat guy. I would say stat boy like they did on Pardon the Interruption, but he is not a boy. He's a grown bleeping man. Especially when he comes up with the stuff he does to make me, he makes Higgy look good, and that's hard to do. Fabian says NC State and Alabama, most of the starters from those teams came from mid-major programs and they were Final Four. Yeah, but they had a supporting cast that are from their current school. And it was like there was one school, I think it was the NC State, all 5 of their starters were new, but the other schools only had like 2 maybe. But the rest of those teams though were full with their own people. Another great question by Jay Bell. Chris, does he have the grades to get into Michigan? Not sure. Amari, but he's been in school for a minute. Fast as okay, our guy Robbie. always on one. We'll probably only have 10 scholarship players next season. I can see that come on for sure. The delay time between you two. What about? Listen, we're going to talk about that, Justin. Great point. Oakland standout Trey Townsend is a guy that I put in the group chat that I would love to see us go after. I loved his hustle. I didn't like his free throw shooting, but I loved his hustle. Would love to see him in red, says Justin. John V says, quite frankly, no, those guys cannot get into Michigan. Nobody wants a Caleb Love situation like last year. And our guy, J.R. Tome, says, I figured more of the Charleston guys would follow Coach Pat. And last but not least, Katie, are there any local big-time players? We need at least one. I don't know. I don't know for sure if there's any local guys. Here's the list of the guys that we've kind of heard from. Marcus Sear. Oh, wait a minute. That's you were telling me he starts for Alabama. He's a transfer. Okay. Nick Boyd from FAU. He's in the portal. Jason Edwards from North Texas, 6 foot tall, 170-pound guard from Atlanta, Georgia, 19 points per game, 2 boards, 1 assist, field goal percentage 42%, had 31 against USF, 31 against UAB, 30 against Memphis, 22 against LSU. Very impressive. The guy that we believe that Coach Kells was looking at, was talking to today, Dante Maddox Jr. from Toledo, 6'2", 195-pound guard from Chicago Heights, Illinois. Shot 15 points, shot 43% from the field, 15 points per game, almost 3 assists, 4 rebounds, had 14 points in a loss to West Virginia, 23 points in a loss against New Mexico. Is that the set? No. Okay, we've already done that one. And those are just a couple of the ones that we have heard about. Let's see. Beast. Let's go back. Babu says, give me about 8 experienced players that average about 40 from 3. I don't hate that. Definitely a hustler, says Justin McCord. Sharon says, Townsend's got that dog in him. Beast Mode says, supporting class, yes, but we have a new coach and a new style. I trust coach. Absolutely. Louisville men's basketball, allegedly, says Michigan's athletic department is as strict as Fort Knox. Our guy Brad Parnell on YouTube says, I'm hoping to see Malik here in a few minutes when they take on the Minnesota Timberwolves. The Raptors have lost 14 in a row and are tanking, so he'll probably get some good minutes. Well, tune into that, everybody. And after our show, as always, Louisville Sports Live on 93.9 The Ville. Check them out. They'll be going on at that time. We'll try to wrap up before then. We can do our wrestling talk at 8 o'clock. So if you don't want to hear wrestling, that'll be the time that you can go ahead and do what you want to do. You'll love Maddox. He is fun to watch, says John V. Darius says, when are walk-on tryouts, and do any of y'all have any eligibility left? Look, Darius, I was asked today. I felt very honored. I took, y'all have heard me talk about my cousin Jonathan and his daughter Carrie Ann. She's just amazing. She's a sophomore. She's already got 1,000 points scored, like 800 rebounds, and she is on pace to finish top 3 all time in the state of Kentucky and block shots if her career progresses the way it has. And we took her up to shoot 360 today to get a consultation. I'm sitting on the sideline. I don't feel comfortable saying all the guys' names I saw up there. I don't know that they want that out there. But at one point, Peyton turns to me and says, "Hey, Jeremy, you want to run? You want to hop in and play?" And I'm like, I wish I could. I said, if y'all need a permanent snowbird on the other end of the court, I can play. Like my shot, I probably haven't shot a basketball it'll be 1 year actually. In a week, it'll be a year since I've been out of the hospital. Thank the good Lord I'm still here kicking and stuff. But I haven't played basketball. I told him, I said, I'd love to get out there and run with y'all because I see a couple of them that I could post up and just dominate. But the fact of the matter is my stamina's not there yet. And as good as my stamina is getting better. But I realized the other day when I was up there talking to them about bringing Carrie Ann and Jonathan up there, I tried to shoot some free throws, and I was way short on my strength is not back to where I thought it was. So we'll see, man. I would love to get out there and hoop. The Maddox boys, don't sleep on them, says Adam, for sure. We need a big body who's willing to play that junkyard. Listen, junkyard dog roll, absolutely. That's what we need. A guy like Why is his name escaping me? The dude from NC State.
Burns. Ain't that his name?
Yeah, Big Burns. Absolutely. KDW says, I heard you were the king of JCC. KD, yeah, well, I wouldn't say king, but we did take a team of 4 guys up to Covington to play in their prestigious 3-on-3 basketball tournament they had every year. And we did pretty well up there. It was a national tournament. So I wouldn't say king, but prince, maybe. DJ Burns, absolutely. That's the kid's name. Chris Curry says, coaches DJ Burns' connection shows his talent evaluation skills. Louisville men's basketball allegedly says, speaking of wrestling, Coach Kelsey is laying the smack it down on all the candy naysayers. Their words, not mine. And Kamon says, y'all like him bringing over his assistants. Personally, I don't mind it. I know it's working. Look, for me, Higgy, what are you eating? Just Reese's frozen. Since when did they make
Are those eggs?
What?
What are
discover
those?
banana? Whoa.
This
Oh,
man
that's
has an
new.
exclusive. Like, Higgy, where?
Brad Parnell says, does Higgy have enough for everyone? He is eating on our time. For sure. I actually like him bringing this whole staff because they know how he works. That'll be a smooth transition. I do know I saw a question earlier. There is allegedly 1 spot left on the bench. You get 5 now. There's the 3 main ones and the 2 auxiliaries. I know there's 1 auxiliary spot left. I know they're trying to fill the director of player, kind of like the Deion Branch role in football. They're trying to fill that one. And then I've heard rumors, and Higgy, I know he's seen them somewhere because he hopped on the pre-show with us talking about, hey, who's going to be our new GM? And I'm like, we've never had a GM here at Louisville, so he wouldn't be, it is what it is. But I have heard rumblings. And no, it's not Higgy's. Higgy, what is that, a regular PlayStation shirt or just a
Classic PlayStation?
Oh, okay. Can you sit down? I'm just kidding. Do what you want to do. Wes says at least Higgy isn't in the dark. Beast wants to know, is Reese's a new sponsor? No, I wish we could have them as a new sponsor, but you think Higgy would be 800 pounds if they sponsored the show and sent us free food. So no. Mark M says, I need those. He also says, please share with the class.
Costco.
And Allie, okay, at Costco. Y'all heard it here first or second. I don't know how he heard about it. Allie Jack says one of PK's assistants, is a international guru. Cardon's laughing. And Dion won a bowl game. Absolutely, he did. I don't think it's going to be Reese. I don't think Reese will be the new alumni relations guy. I do think he'll still stick around, but I haven't talked to him, so that's just me spitballing that. So who knows? But I really hope he does get to stay on staff. Okay, yeah. So we'll see. I'll try to get that information. Checking on Twitter. Oh, that's nice. Louisville football with a nice little tweet where they are using, I don't know what kind of camera lens that is, but that picture is sick. Speaking of football real quick, we are going to have some big visitors in the next couple weeks. Brandon Bennett, 6 foot, 180-pound, 4-star wide receiver at American Heritage in Plantation, Florida. He'll be up for the Louisville spring game. He'll be up here the 18th through the 20th. So make sure y'all are following him. He is #B1. So follow that dude. And secondly, another guy I want to put a little bit of focus on, Devin Carter. He's a 2020, and both of these are 2026 players, but Devin Carter is a 2026 wide receiver. He's the number 11th player in the country. He's from Cedar Grove, Alabama, or Cedar Grove. Alabama, Georgia, Florida State, and Louisville are some of his top schools. His dad played at Florida State and played with Coach Brown with the 49ers. He came up for a spring practice already, coming back for the spring game, and he is one of the main priorities for us in 2026. Would be either the first or second highest rated recruit, high school wise, in Louisville history. Got to get him. Got to have him. I got to find his Twitter while y'all talk about it. Have you heard of either Devin? Hold on, Carter. Higgy, how are those, by the way? Are they good?
Amazing. But I was gonna say, I looked up some video on the Bennett kid. Dude, he is electric. He's got that vertical speed to break off the line pretty quickly. Along with, he reminds me a lot of like a Tutu Atwell, like his big catch abilities, but also too that lateral speed to get off the line and make that separation that Coach Braum has been looking for in this offense with receivers. Kind of like Amari Huggins, Bruce, a little bit, but much faster off the bounce than anything else.
Man, I really miss Amari Huggins, Bruce. Thanks for making me sad again. Let's see. I'm trying to find Devin's Twitter. Of course, a lot of these people like to put his name in tweets, but then don't like. Oh, here we go. Got it. His Twitter is Devin Carter. Very simple. I love those. Number one wide receiver in class of 2026 Cedar Grove. So it's Georgia. I said Alabama. I was reading too quickly. He's a wide receiver / safety / athlete. 3.4 GPA. I love that these kids put contact my head coach at this phone number, or contact me at this phone number. Like, they are literally, we want to talk about these kids being paid, and that it's not like they are literally promoting themselves. And let's see, Montrez, man, I can't lie, ready for the TBT, love the game, like it, dude. Okay, well, it's just Trez being Trez. Let's go with that. Sorry, I do all this stuff in real time. I know sometimes it's not. Whenever I'm not talking, though, they have full permission to start up another topic or talk. So I'm not like, for those of y'all that are like, let them talk. They have free reign to talk when they want to. But speaking of football, last night we finally got to bring back the Louisville live stream, 502 Circle Louisville live stream, brought to you exclusively on the Ravon Sports app by the 502 Circle, the Louisville NIL Collective. We had a great show last night with Monroe Mills and Jonathan Mendoza. Wes, you said you didn't get to watch it last night. You would have appreciated the fact that somebody asked them what their wrestling names would be. Jonathan Mendoza said he would have to go. Actually, Monroe said he would name Jonathan the New York Giant because Jonathan's from New York.
Okay, I like that.
And then Jonathan said he would just call. What did he say he would call Monroe? Oh my gosh, I forgot already. Well, listen, that will be up on the Cardinal Sports Zone website within the next 24 hours. Shout out to everybody. The numbers are rising as we go. We love it. We appreciate it. Did I hear back from George Washington? No, I did not, nor any of the other forefathers. Robbie says, I'll never forget those 3 threes against Tennessee. Wes, let's pin your comment up here. We'll talk about it in a second because what I really want to talk about now is the next guest. Can I get a drum roll, Wes? Don't worry. I didn't say drumstick. Wes, drum roll. Joining us this Tuesday at 7 p.m. on the Ravon Sports app, on the 502 Circle Louisville live stream, Colin Lacey, Penny Boone.
Oh,
Let's go. So excited. Any of my team that wants to send me some questions for them, I do. Listen, my boss at Ravon called me last night, and basically she was telling me how much she loved the Louisville live stream. And that was my name. I named it that. This has been a concept for a while. It hit a couple of bumps, but we got everything going and running smooth. And she's like, I love the entire show, but my favorite part are your introductions. Now, Wes, have we not been told on prior shows, DeJuan Wheat, Larry O'Bannon, other guys, Keith Tolbridge, man, I love the introduction. I put a lot of work into that. And I think because I'm not only a sports fan, but a wrestling fan, a promo guy. Like, I really feel like I could go to the WWE today and be one of the best promo guys of all time. Now, I probably would get my butt kicked by everybody. CM Punk would probably put me to sleep. Seth freaking Rollins would probably stomp my head into the ground, and Roman Reigns would make me acknowledge him probably. But she's like, love the introduction. So I put a lot of that. My questions, I try to let me go into this really quick for a second. The concept of the Louisville live streams is, and we're trying to get it bumped up to 30 minutes, but right now it's a 20-minute question and answer session where you all the fans are supposed to ask the questions. Well, the problem is my questions are so good, none of the fans ever ask any questions, and it's just me asking questions the entire time that our guys, Sam Bays, it depends on the sport. So like last night, Sam Baysden and Brendan Hoba, which is Colin Hoba's brother. He's a feature writer for Cardinal Sports Zone. They sent me questions for the guys last night, and the questions are so good by the staff. And I had some. I did 4 or 5 questions of my own. I didn't make them do all the work, but if I could have, I would have. But yeah, no, the group chat. Actually, the only question that was asked in the group chat, and we had over 800 people that watched the live stream live, which is huge because it's a new concept. Just download the Rave-On Sports app. It's easy. I got to plug them for a second because they are my secondary. I treat all my employers and sponsors as number one priority. But the Rave-On Sports app is an innovative concept, and I'm not reading this off of any sheets or anything. My phone's turned down. You download the Rave-On Sports, and it does app. It doesn't matter what team you're a fan of. You can be a fan of any college team, I believe any pro team. You sign up, you follow your favorite teams, and then on their game days, a chat room opens up to where you can go in and talk with like-minded Louisville fans, like-minded Celtics fans, like-minded Steelers fans, whatever the case may be. And talk with, you're not going to get a whole bunch of, I mean, sure, you're still probably going to get one of the Smurf turds in there every once in a while, just trolling. But for the most part, you're talking with people that love the schools that you love and the programs that you love. And it's a great, and they do lives every once in a while. Now, our live is going to go on every week as long as there's somebody to do them. We're in baseball season right now, so I imagine that football and volleyball and basketball will be the focus over the. We got to get some basketball players on the men's side in order to do some with them. But I'm really, really excited about it. It is. Albert says, "Hey, Phelan, I don't. Come on, our guy, come on. We got Ohio Valley Wrestling. We have a training facility right here. Absolutely, a DJ ATM Flex, and I guess that Flex is for the Penny Boone Colin Lacey thing. But yeah, Rave-On Sports app, download it, very easy. Let's see, the tagline I created for them was sign up, tap in, rave on. So that's what we're going to do with that. Make sure you download it. Wes Brocky says, what is everyone looking forward to at the spring game? I'm handing this over to you all. Wes, what are you looking forward to at the spring game?
Just seeing everything gel more. Like actually being there at spring practice, one thing I've noticed is the defense definitely has a leg up on the offense, which is something that I have made a point like anytime we talked about it, because the defense has returned more pieces. So they're just eviscerating the offensive line as much as they can. I'm excited to see things come together, see more plays actually drawn up, see more things ran and actually outside of the practice setting, and like see these guys really get after it. Like watching the transfers at the practices has been fun, but seeing them in an actual real game setting is what I really can't wait for.
Are y'all ready for an Easter egg real quick? You know, I like to throw these Easter eggs in. So do not be surprised if one of the Cardinals that left Louisville since last year comes back to Louisville before the beginning of next season. I'm going to leave that at that. Football. Leave it at that. Tanner, what about you? What are you looking forward to as far as the spring game's concerned?
Probably for me is wide receivers and maybe some of the running backs, but mainly wide receivers. I want to see what our transfers look like. Colin Lacey, I hear he's the real deal. And then also Ja'Cory Brooks, I want to see what he looks like as well, because Man, I don't think we've had somebody rated that high come in here, especially from Alabama, in a while, maybe ever, really. So that's what I'm looking
All
forward
right,
to
Higgy.
most.
No, Brian, not Tyler Harrell. That would be quite the twisted turn of events there. Higgy, what are you? Let's take the obvious out of the way: the concessions, the tailgating, stuff like that. What are you looking forward to the most as
For
far
me,
as spring
go ahead.
practice, spring games concerned? You interrupted me.
I was gonna say for me, it's gonna be the tight ends. I want to see Jeff Brom and how this offense looks with the tight end game. Last year, we didn't really have much of the tight end utilization that we wanted to in his offense. So we'll see what happens this year more than anything.
Absolutely. Look, our guy Kamoon wants to. I hope I'm saying that correctly. Kamoon, come on, whatever. Once Mr. January says he wants to see our new quarterback. Tired of transfers. Hopefully, he doesn't play like a plumber.
Oh,
I had somebody that was actually Ryan Griffin said that my assessment of Plummer was a C+ quarterback. He was to me, he could have been an A, but this guy, from what I've seen, and this was the comparison I made on Sunday's show. I said this guy looks like Plummer, but only with he's able to read his progressions quicker, and he can throw the ball and lead the receiver a little bit more. He's more consistent. And both Wes and Ryan was like, yeah, spot on. So I don't think we're going to see. I'll be honest with you. I don't get the Plummer hate. I know he had a lot of mistakes, but that was a first-year coach. We had a bunch of new guys. I guess I'm just a little bit more lenient as somebody who's played college football. Well, somebody who was on a college football team. I have a little bit more patience because I saw everything firsthand. So maybe that's the reason. Wes Brocky, our guy Wes, says our other Wes, defense is going to be so good. I believe so too. Okay. Well, I didn't see this come. I don't know. It got mixed up. Phelan says, so I guess Alabama and Ole Miss don't work out. Who knows? We have plenty of tight ends. Yep. If you are into pop culture, come on out to J-Town this Saturday for Louisville Con at Triple Crown Pavilion. I'll be selling art and comics and junk. There you go, Brad. Louisville men's basketball, allegedly, from YouTube says, I'm a big Jordan fan. Watkins, I say. Oh, the pun. Really, that's not who I'm talking about, though. And last but not least, I think Justin is correct in his comment from earlier. We have plenty of tight ends for the quarterback to check down to. And he actually had the right two the first time and then incorrected his two. So it is what it is. Let's go to the last topic of the regular part of the show, and then we will go into our little wrestling preview. Biggest week of the year, WrestleMania, biggest weekend. They got tons of stuff going on this weekend. I saw something today that I hadn't seen, guys, in a long time, and that was passion and hope for Louisville basketball again today. We got the bat signal or the pat signal. Hi, Miss Lisa. How you doing? Steve immediately called me, excited, giddy like a young school kid. We're back. And I'm like, what's going on? He's like, did you see the bat signal? Does that mean, he was like, does that mean we got somebody else? Is that the bat signal from earlier today? Tell me what it is. And I was like, I don't know, bro. I don't know exactly how that worked. I don't know if he was foreshadowing a little bit, but the weirdest part of today, weirdest/coolest part of the day was Higgy disappearing from our screen. That was really awesome. But second weirdest was the return of the flight tracker, guys. All right, I'm gonna start with you, Higgy. Is this creepy to you or intriguing as can be?
For me, it's intriguing because we've never had.
Spell intriguing.
I'm not gonna spell it, but I'm just saying this. It was very encouraging.
Love it. Go ahead.
I think it's very encouraging to see because Kenny Payne and staff didn't really tweet out as much to get engaged with the fan base in regards to certain recruits or anything like that. We didn't have any subtle hints like we did with the MAC days, different things like that. I think it's exciting to see.
That people were missing.
Yes. So I think Pat Kelsey and staff will have those gifts come back out again. We may have some PK bombs, as Brady bombs always come out as well. So
listen, Brady's been referencing the Brady bomb ever since, and I love it. Brady's a good dude. Appreciate him giving us some stuff to talk about tonight. Wes says it's intriguing. Tanner, intriguing or creepy AF?
I think it's a bit of both. I think it's like it's creepy in a sense that like just random people can find out what flight you're on and track wherever you're going. But I also think it's interesting, like, what if we're the ones that establish this new technique of finding out who our coach is recruiting just based off where their private jet is landing
Or
anywhere in the
know where the
country.
private jet is.
I think
Higgy. What if
but
the university figures out that we figured it out and then they just start switching up on it?
they switch. I think it would be like one of those street magicians with the ball under the 3 cups, and you just switch it around every week. I think that would be something that we could do. It would be fun to watch. But no, I think it's a bit of both. It was creepy to me at first, but now it's just like it's kind of funny.
All right, my bad. I'm checking the flight tracker out right now. Wes, what about you?
I agree with Tanner 1,000%. It's a little bit of both. It's like y'all all in the mix. Yeah, y'all just gotta know where he's going, what he's doing, when he's doing it. But at the same time, it's exciting because just to have a coach who's really out here, energetic, that, like I said, the subtle flex with the video in front of the jet saying happy hunting, letting y'all know what type of time he's on. He's about to get out here and get after it.
What about in regards?
Huh?
Wes?
What were you saying?
I was gonna say, what about in regards to, like, we also know we're not moving in silence anymore. We're moving out with a passion than anything else.
Okay, really quick. I knew you were going to say something stupid to piss me off tonight. Can we please let Kenny and Nolan and gosh, I forgot the dudes' names. Danny and Josh. Can we just let they did horribly here? It's done. Can we just stop putting out stories? Nolan's not coming back. Stop putting out, because every time y'all do that, then the people that hate him for whatever reason, and I get 100 times a day, well, Eric Crawford wouldn't lie. Well, guess what? Eric Crawford wrote a one-sided story. He didn't have it verified, didn't ask Nolan anything. It is what it is. But every time y'all bring up, and probably me by saying this is going to elicit some tweets too, and I apologize in advance. Stop bringing them up, because they're just going to keep getting drug over and over again. We have our new guy. The past is in the past. Let's just let it be in the past. Louisville men's basketball, allegedly, says, we think Coach Kelsey should give himself a pat on the back for his social media game. I agree. Listen, Louisville men's basketball, allegedly, I've been trying to get in contact with Zach all week to try to get you, unallegedly, get you on the show this Sunday. I haven't heard anything back from Zach yet. So let's hopefully, maybe you could pass the message along, allegedly, that we would like to have Pat Kelsey, because we think we can match his energy on the show, and it would be a great thing for him to hop on here with us. Our guy Garrett, Collision Course Crew Tailgate, spring game, gold lot, let's go. Such a good energy in town. It's been missing for so long. Fan engagement at an all-time high. It's absolutely refreshing. I could not agree more. Now, look, we will answer all your U of L questions in the chat line. I'm going to transition a little bit. By the way, Flight N53HA is expected to depart from Louisville in 1 hour and 35 minutes for Boca Raton, Florida, for those of y'all that want to know. Hershey Love says, amen. Let it go like Frozen. Bars. I love it. It is what it is. But yes, again, and seems like there's been some sort of a delay in takeoff. They were supposed to leave at 7:45. Now they've got an hour and a half delay. I guess that's just happening, whether you got a private plane or not. Brian says Pat Kelsey was at the airport about an hour after the commitment. What more can you ask for? Nothing. He was on his way to Toledo to see Maddox. So hopefully he got that commitment. We'll be looking for a tweet. Listen, thanks for clearing up. Just let him live. I won't use your name. I know you're watching. I appreciate it. Love you, brother. But let him live. Everybody's tired of holding their tongue about it. The fact of the matter is, somebody wrote a one-sided story, and everybody believed that guy and Kenny Payne over everybody else. Just not true. It is what it is. But let's leave that. Let's leave it be. It is what it is. Wes Brocky says his energy is contagious. Kind of glad the U of L UK baseball game got canceled. Well, it got rescheduled, then it got canceled. It got rained out tonight. It was supposed to be yesterday. It got pushed to today. I'm wearing my Louisville baseball brand new shirt you can get from JD Becker. I wore it just for the game, and then found out that it was going to be canceled. So kind of low key upset about that because I wanted to see what we had. I wanted to see if we could hang. You know, they beat the crap out of I forgot, it was a decent SEC team this past weekend. I don't recall. I just remember seeing a tweet on the timeline earlier that was like they were up 15-1 on somebody earlier this weekend. They've got a big allegedly, Justin, I don't know, that could be, you know what, I wouldn't put it past Higgy to be typing on his phone from the Louisville MB YouTube channel. This isn't like Twitter where you can click on the profile and see who owns it. We don't know, but we do appreciate that they do give us comedy and entertainment every week and good stuff too. Ole Miss, absolutely. Yes, Lisa, styling the U of L swag. Our guy Sada Ali in the building. What's good, brother? Little brother, big brother, little big brother, whatever you want to be called. It is what it is. Ole Miss, LMAO. Yeah, allegedly. I don't know who that is. That could be Molly the meth head out on the corner, YouTubing. It could be Harriet the heroin dealer. I don't know who that is. It could be Ali oxycodone for all I know. I don't know that that's Louisville MB. I don't know that it's not. It'd be really awesome if that was like Zach Greenwell commenting on the show. You know, it is what it is. I don't know. What? It could be Holly hydrocodone. I don't know. I've been told I have to leave. It's not Higgy. He's too busy with his Costco Reese's from Louisville men's basketball, allegedly. So, look, we love doing this every week. We like to have fun. Like, the Sunday show's more professional. We're a little bit more wound up because we want to make sure we're doing everything in a great positive way. We like to just act a daggone fool on this show. So it is what it is. Brian says, I'm going to guess Molly doesn't know how to get on YouTube. Molly the meth head may not know how to get on YouTube. Methany. Gosh dang it. It's Sam. He's a closet. Hey, it is Sam. Which, by the way, I don't know that if we played this today or not. But where's it at? Sam picked Miami and hates all of our coaches in any sport. Got to give y'all the weekly reminder. Listen, this absolutely is blowing my mind. We've got almost now again, we normally do 25 times the amount of podcast downloads than we do streaming. But we've been averaging about 3,000 or 4,000 streaming ever since the Nolan Smith episode. Appreciate him for coming on and doing that. But this show, we were only shooting for about 200 or 300 live streamers a week. We're up to 1,000. It's ridiculous. We love you all. We appreciate the support. We're just having a good time. And anybody, if you are a former Cardinal and want to hop on here with us and talk some trash, shoot me a text, shoot me a DM. I'll send you the link. You can hop on here. We would like at some point to make this show interacting with the fans a little bit more by letting you all hop on here. We're trying to figure out how to do that because we got the same login for both shows. So we'll see. That's just one idea, that I've had here recently. So let's get into it. I'm going to try to pull up the card real quick. Higgy, I know you don't really watch wrestling. Do you want to stick around, or are you good for the night?
I'll stick around if you want me to stick around, or I'll bounce if you want me to bounce.
Hey, Justin, listen. Justin says We love you guys. I really look forward to these shows. We just like to have a good time, man. We're not all about being douchebags. We're not all about pushing a narrative. We really Louisville men's basketball allegedly said, Sam, you had me until you said Miami. Well, that was literally one word. Listen, I would love to find out this was somebody I was close with. I would love it if you send me a screenshot right now of the account. I would love it. I have a feeling this is somebody I actually know. I could be wrong. Welch 502 from YouTube. What's up, 55? Well, what's up? You're here on Live with 55 at 8:09 on a Wednesday night. WrestleMania week. First off, WrestleMania week kicked off Monday night with an epic Roman and Rock in-ring. It's probably Steve. It could. No, it's not Steve. If it was
Steve wouldn't be smart enough to do that.
Oh,
I hope somebody, there's somebody out there that likes to take clips of stuff. I want somebody to clip that up and send it to Steve. No, Steve's actually the one who got them up there to start using spaces. So he's intelligent enough to figure out how to do it. Why do you listen, Higgy? Let's go full wrestling mode right now. Why in the blue Hades would you take a shot at Steve Rummage?
If Steve takes shots at me, so I'll take shots back.
When does he take shots at you?
When he's around you.
I don't see him around me right now.
Uh-oh.
Listen, I'm a leave Higgy be right now. Well, it says he's been rebuilding a camper for the past couple of days. Sounds fun. WWE kicked off WrestleMania week Monday night with a really awesome main event on Raw. It was Seth Rollins versus Solo Sikoa. Bloodline rules. We had the Andre the Giant Battle Royal Friday night. Yes, we do, Robert. Our guy, premium subscriber, Robert Holt. Then Tuesday night was NXT. By the way, Monday night was Bloodline rules, which is what we were expecting to see Sunday night at WrestleMania between Cody and Roman. We're thinking that Roman and Rock win the tag team match Saturday night, and then in turn they get the Bloodline rules match Sunday night. Cody versus Roman Bloodline rules, which we expect to see at least no less than 10 interferences. Solo, Jimmy, Jay, The Rock, Seth. Gosh, you could even bring back guys like The Undertaker, Stone Cold, John Cena, everybody just jumping in to make sure that the Roman Empire goes down in flames. The Bray Wyatt documentary was fire, absolutely. Corey Carson says, uneffing believable. I know, I can't believe Higgy did that. And then he wonders why we challenge his intelligence from time to time. And he picked on Steve. Steve's literally one of the quickest wit people. I would put him up there, just behind. He's up there with me. I can take jokes. I can also dish them out really quickly. And he's got a quick wit. Hold on. Oh, no. Okay. Oh, that's right. Steve, let me see if I can get him on the phone real quick.
Uh-oh. And it's about to escalate.
So we've got this YouTube person that's come. By the way, you're on the show. You're not getting paid anything for it. We got this YouTube person, Louisville MBB, that keeps commenting very, very funny things, very entertaining. And our guy Justin McCord, supporter of your show and ours, says it's probably Steve. To which Hickey says it's not Steve. He's not smart enough to figure it out. Do you have anything you want to say to Higgy?
Okay. Now, what was the name of the Twitter again, or the YouTube person?
It's Louisville MBB. They're trying to make us think they're Louisville men's basketball. So I keep saying allegedly it's Louisville men's basketball, even though we're pretty sure it's not Louisville men's basketball.
Wow. That's kind of harsh, man. And Higgy come at me like that?
Higgy came at you like that.
That's brutal, dude.
I mean, y'all used to be best friends, though. When I first met him, he said that y'all went out on vacations together. How many vacations have you actually went on with Higgy?
Shitticus.
So if I put the over under at 1, if I put the over under at 1 on how many vacations you've been on with Higgy and his lovely wife, which I'm still not sure why she married him. How many would you say over or under 1?
I would feel comfortable with taking the under.
Under. Okay. So basically what you're telling me is that when Higgy met me, he thought he was big timing me by telling me he knew you better than he thought I knew you.
Oh, Higgy's. Oh.
All right,
Sounds like that might be the case. Yeah.
All right, I'll send you your Cash App here in a few minutes.
Yeah. Hey, don't ever call me during the show again. Show sucks.
You suck. Hey, by the way, grab a spoon.
All right,
AEW Steve on the line with us.
That's gonna wrap it up for tonight.
And we're done. No, I had to do it like that. Y'all know this, like that he's my best friend, so had to do it. Let me pull up this card real quick. Let me ask you first: what match are you looking forward to the most, Wes? While I do this research.
Definitely the 2 main events. I know that's stereotypical. I know that's one way to look at it, but I want to see how it plays out because I feel like to some degree there is like a chance that Rock does take a turn. I don't know if it happens now or if it happens in the future, but the fact that, honestly, in my opinion, even though I know it's overthinking it, that his title is kind of like low-key undermining Roman a little bit. Roman's the head of the table, but Rock says, I'm the final boss.
It's been amazing, dude. The final boss stuff has been really, really fun. Justin McCord says, oh, snap, Higgy. Chris Carrier wants to know HVL defensive thoughts. Don't be nice. She plays defense like one of those big fans you see on the ceiling above Higgy. And why does Wes's fan look like he has a good idea and Higgy looks like his lights are out and nobody's home? I'm not really sure. Garrett Hoover says with the angle that Higgy is using now, he's channeling big Jabba the Hutt vibes. Change your angle, Higgy. That's harsh. Wes Brocky says Jimmy versus Jay should be fired. Here's the lineup. Night 1. Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee versus Santos Escobar and Dominic Mysterio. That should be a decent match. Bianca Belair, Naomi, and Jade Cargill versus Damage Control. The 6-pack ladder match for the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championships. It is the Champions Judgment Day defending against the Awesome Truth, DIY, or Regeneration X, as R-Truth calls them. The New Day, the New Catch Republic, and A-Town Down Under. For now, there are rumors that they're going to be taken out for a surprise entrant, which I would love to see a team like the Dudleys or the Hardys jump into that surprise spot if they are taken out. And Jimmy versus Jay on night 1. Night 1's looking like a banger, man. Jimmy versus Jay, it looks like it went out on me. Gunther defending the Intercontinental Championship versus Sami Zayn. Rhea Ripley defending the Women's World Championship against Becky Lynch. And then the big tag team match. That night is going to be hard to beat. Let's see if they can do it. Night 2's Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits versus the Final Testament. Okay. LA Knight versus AJ Styles. The United States Championship triple threat match. Logan Paul, boo, versus Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens. Io Sky defending the WWE Women's Championship versus Bayley. The World Heavyweight title will go first on night 2. It'll be Seth Rollins defending his championship, which you can see in the back of my room up there underneath the 55. I don't know which way I'm pointing. Up there on the little tower. And last versus Drew McIntyre, which will be having a pay-per-view, Clash at the Castle, here in a couple of months in his home country of Scotland. And the night will be, we believe, will be the WWE Undisputed Universal Championship title match, Bloodline Rules, which is basically no holds barred, Falls County, whatever they want to put it as. It is Cody Rhodes versus the longest reigning WWE champion in modern day history, longer than any of these three have been alive. I grew up on the tail end of a Hulk Hogan 5-year title reign. Roman's coming up on 4 years, and that's just unprecedented in the sport. It is crazy, but yeah, both nights are really good. I would say on paper, night one looks like the better night, but with those two title matches leading off, headlining night two, it's going to be hard to beat. Let's see some of the comments here. Premium subscriber Robert Holt says odds that Charlotte comes back during the Lynch Ripley match. I think that's probably a good prediction there. He also says night one is going to be hot. Okay. Much like does Priest cash in? It is about time for him to cash in the Money in the Bank. And Wes Brocky said the national treasure R-Truth said earlier. We keep climbing. I love y'all. R-Truth said earlier today he hasn't had a cheesecake before, but wanted a cheesesteak. R-Truth is he's ridiculous. He's a national treasure. Let's see. Sean is a better defender than Tyler. He was our best on-ball defender. Granted, our defense sucked, but he was the best we had other than Hersey. I will tell you right now, we will not stand for any Hersey Miller hate on this timeline.
No.
Hersey may not have been an All-American here, but he was a great facilitator, a great he just knew how to quarterback the offense. We won a couple of games with him starting, and I know that sounds odd to say, but I believe he was starting in at least 3 or 4 wins out of 8 games there in the middle stretch of the season in January. I'm going to say that's when it was. Robert Holt says give Truth a belt. But yeah, WrestleMania is going to be a great time. We want you to get y'all's final questions in. WrestleMania predictions are fine for you all to do too. Higgy has blacked himself out, so we're going to go ahead and say goodbye to Higgy.
Oh, never mind, he's back.
Nope, no, he's not. I am the podcast. No, I'm not going to say that. I'll let him back in.
I thought you were about to say podcast final boss.
I am. That's what I was going to say, but I felt like I was going to come off a little sacrilegious there. Fun fact: I actually lived across the dorm from The Rock in college. Howard Snellenberger was. I've told some of y'all this, but Howard Snellenberger was the coach when I committed to Louisville. By the time I got there, Ron Cooper was the coach, so I never got to play. Well, I didn't get to play anyway. I tore my ACL 2 years in a row. Different ACLs, but he always let all the Miami guys that were in town come in, stay in the football dorm, work out with everybody. So for about 2 months, me and The Rock were besties, and this is how my final interaction with him went. We were at the Louisville Gardens, and he wrestled under the name Flex Cavana. He come out and sat in the crowd because he recognized me. It was me, my brother, and our friend Joe. We're sitting in the crowd. He got done with his match. He was in the opening match. That's how bad he sucked. Opening match Rock. And he come to the crowd and sat with us and was like, Jeremy, what's good? And I was like, nothing much, man. What's up? He's like, yeah. And they just told me I'm getting the big call-up this weekend. And I turned to him. I was like, this weekend is Survivor Series. It's Thanksgiving week. They're not going to call you up during the Survivor Series. Yeah, man, I'm going to be on one of the Survivor Series teams facing The Undertaker. I said, okay, man, good luck with that. Like, very sarcastically, just as Jeremy always does. We talked for a few more minutes. He leaves. I turned to my brother. I was like, we will never see him again. Go down to my grandma's for Thanksgiving. We turned on, because that's what we did. We ate turkey and we watched the Thanksgiving Day pay-per-view. Sure enough, this old every color of the rainbow looking dude comes out. It's right. I'll look at my brother. I'm like, I guess we're gonna see him again, and we saw him. So that's my really funny, most famous person I've ever met story. I was talking to my cousin Jonathan earlier about that. We were trying to talk about, because Jonathan, he likes to name drop a lot, which I don't understand that. I don't like that. I don't do that for sure. I just happen to grew up knowing a whole bunch of people that are worthy of it. But I digress.
Arguably, mainly the most famous person in the world right
Yeah,
now.
just a little bit. Higgy, who's the most famous person you know? And I don't mean like you used to claim that you knew Harry Douglas, but then couldn't get him to come on our show. And not Steve Rummage either, which you told me that you and Megan went on multiple vacations with him in charity and never
That
did.
is bull.
No, that's not bull. When we first listen, he's gonna
That
get.
was way
I'm turned.
before.
I'm turned up. We were at Best Buy, and he did not know I knew Steve. And
I called you Steve by mistake too. Remember
right,
this?
you called me. You was like, "Hey, what's up, Steve?" And I was like, "I'm not Steve." And you're like, "Oh, I know. Me and my fiance go on vacations with him and his wife."
No, I never said that.
Yes, you did. On God, may God stop my heart now. You absolutely flexed in front of me. I was like, "Oh, for real? Well, I'm about to go over to his house for dinner." And you're like, "You know him?" And I was like, "Yeah, absolutely." And this was 10 years ago, Higgy. This was Higgy. You absolutely told me that you and Megan went on vacations with him in charity because I went straight home and told him. Yes, you did. You can shake your head all you want to. You absolutely told me that. Chris Curry said Flex Cavana and Bart Sawyer, USWA tag team champs for sure. Chris Curry, no Hersey hate. No. You heard me? Absolutely. You heard? For sure. Look, we had a fun time with you all tonight. 1,030 people watching the live stream. Again, when it comes to the downloads on the podcast, we do numbers on it. We've been building our viewing numbers up, and I know it doesn't sound like a whole lot, but it is. And each one of you all, 1,030 people tuned in right now. We appreciate the heck out of you all, and we love the fact that you love to tune in. All of you all that have your notifications turned on for the Cardinal Sports Zone podcast and Live with 55. The streaming numbers have been about the same both shows, which just goes to show the brand of CSZ and myself and Wes and sometimes Higgy when he's not trying to tell people he goes on vacation with their wives, which he absolutely did, no matter how many times he shakes his little cheeks no.
Oh,
So you're calling me a liar then? Okay, that's what I thought. All right, Louisville men's basketball allegedly. We out. We are migrating down south for a couple of days. Louisville men's basketball. We love you and appreciate you as well. Robert Holt would say would pay money to see a Flex Cavana sign at WrestleMania. Well, write it and then go out and watch it. It's in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Actually for 4 nights. SmackDown will be there Friday, followed by the Hall of Fame ceremonies. Then Saturday and Sunday, wrestling's on all day long. Just turn it to Peacock, turn it on the WWE Network, watch it all day long both days, and then it'll be topped off by the perfect cherry Raw after WrestleMania. It's normally one of the most exciting Raws of the year. There's debuts there. Already rumors going rampant. It is what it is. Albert Cross piece. Corey says, I met, talked, and received an autograph from Tiger Woods. No flex. That's up there, man. That's up there with The Rock. I mean, I only like ate lunch with The Rock and worked out with them for like 2.5 months. But you talked to Tiger once, so that's still pretty cool. When I was 10 years old, WWF used to come. The only time they come to Louisville, Kentucky was for the Kentucky State Fair. And the main event was Hulk Hogan versus the Iron Sheik. Hulk gets in the ring, rips his shirt off, throws it straight to me. I caught it. I'm excited. There's about 20 grown men try to come and snatch it from me. And not my dad, my mom grabs it from all those guys and puts it under her shirt. Now, these idiots were still trying to get it, and my dad stood up, and they all kind of backed away. But my mom, being the nice person she was, she cut the shirt up into about 30 pieces and gave everybody a piece of one half. She cut the shirt in half. I got half the shirt, and she cut the other one up into about 30 pieces and handed it out to the guys that wanted a piece and the kids that were sitting around us. What a nice gesture. Tony Bowman. Why didn't you say you were going to have Up Church on the show tonight? Wes Brocky wants to know, could there be a Howdy sighting? Look, I'm missing the reference. I'm sure there's a character called Up Church. I'm going to have to look that up. Kevin Watson says wrestling. Brian says appreciate the time tonight. I have to look this up real quick. Up Church. I swear to God, whoever this joke is aimed at, and it could be me. It is what it is. It's Tanner.
don't even know who that is.
I don't either. It says, and I quote, American rapper and singer-songwriter. Upchurch in the look, people don't know Ryan Edward Upchurch, formerly known as Upchurch the Redneck, is an American rapper, singer-songwriter, and comedian from Cheatham County, Tennessee. Hey, down there with Higgy. I've never heard of him either. Never heard of him. Tony, you're freaking hilarious. We appreciate it. We are going to hop off here. I got some secrets to share with the guys. If you want to know those secrets, all you gotta do is send me a Cash App. I'll send the information your way. I'm just kidding. Look, we've answered all the questions. Wes, I think we could see Uncle Howdy at WrestleMania this weekend. It would be a great tribute to Bray Wyatt. Garrett's laughing, Kevin's laughing. For any final words, Wes? We normally just do this in our Sports Zone podcast, but we'll do it tonight. Any final words?
Yeah, I was gonna say, spring ball coach out here recruiting, go Cards.
Tanner the Manor. I'm sorry, Upchurch.
Yeah, thanks for that comparison, I guess. I didn't know that person existed until now. So I guess you learn something new every day when you tune in to Live with 55. But yeah, keep supporting both the football and basketball programs through 502 Circle. They're doing a good job. I think they have like 500,000 raised so far.
500,000 on the match by our guy Rick Cooper, Planet Fitness. What's the name of the brand? Is it Glow Brand? It's not Glow Brands. What is it?
I'm pretty sure it is Glow Brands.
Okay,
Glow Brands.
Yeah. So, yeah. Other than that, go Cards.
Doing great stuff out there. Higgy, we'll get to you last, but definitely not least. For me, my final words are this. Let's move on from the past. Kenny Payne era is done. Let him listen. Curse him out all you want to off the public airwaves and stuff. Man, we've got Coach Kelsey. We got a different Coach K, a different coach with the initials K and P in his name. Let's turn this around. I said from the beginning, hopefully that KP backwards being PK means that the results will be backwards as well. Instead of 12-52, we'll be 52-12 over the next 2 years, something like that. Let's get some good vibes going. Shout out to the 502 Circle Louisville live stream, brought to you exclusively on the Ravon Sports app. It's real easy to sign on. Like I said, sign up, tap in, Ravon, this week's guest. Tuesday at 7 p.m., right on the Ravon Sports app, it will be the transfer heavy hitters, the transfer offensive heavy hitters, Penny Boone and Colin Lacey. Higgy, let's go. And Garrett says, hey, at least Tanner got out of the bed again today. So that's 2 straight Tanner out of bed. I'm happy with that. Higgy, what are your final words for the show today?
I apologize to Steve Rummage. That's my final words.
You apologize. You don't have anything else to say other than that?
No.
We throw the mails and you take them home. When they ring the bells, you know that it's home. The bar is set, we setting the tone. If we set it, then set it in stone. Now sit in the seat and set up your phone. You in the car, no sports.